And we're almost at the end of our goal, and we'll be practicing on the week 22nd, opening channels for truth. A very, very interesting part as we approach, and there are a lot of things that we have already learned are coming together, and how it is going to the next phase, and slowly trying to go beyond what we have already learned, and also to say that, hey, you know what, there is more than one way of doing certain things. Okay, so what we have done is we've learned how to be in the heart center and connect. And as we are in this path, there are always times where we are tempted to step back and question ourselves. Question ourselves as to what exactly are we doing? Are we in the right path? Or if we are having certain, the way we are thinking is different. And how to merge everything and overcome that. And this is primarily what we have seen is constantly. We have doubts. We have doubts in everything that we do. And why do these doubts arise? And how we can overcome them? And how to be unified all the time. So there are mostly sometimes what we see is there are two or more parts of us. And each of the part becomes independent. They have independent ideas and drivers. Similarly, how like in our daily lives, as we play different roles when we are at home. We are, in my case, it is I'm a mother. I am in a certain way. When I'm at work, it's different. Then again, just at home, depending on the situations, I change, right? So similarly, our minds and bodies, they change. They act very, very differently. And what is constant is like what we have noticed is sometimes we work with the heart and sometimes we use our mind. And so similarly, how we play different roles, our head is also one such part, that is our mind, that says, do this, do that. And we are conditioned to play a certain role. And for ages, our head or the mind has mostly been in charge. Because why do we do that? Because that is what we are conditioned to do it. Right from the beginning, we are asked to be logical. We are taught to be analytical. And if you see all of the colleges or jobs, when we are giving certain tests, what they normally do is they look at our analytical skills, our logical thinking. And that's what we are trained to do in schools. And if your logical thinking or analytical thinking is good, then what we noticed is like, even in the job market, your value becomes higher, right? And suddenly, in this particular process that we are doing as part of Unified, your head or mind is told to take a back seat, right? And not just that, we also say that to give power to our heart. So, to our mind, the heart is just a certain emotional driver, And it doesn't have any logic or any systematic way to memorize or any habits and any conditioning. But still, we want to put that under the heart in charge as part of this unified process. So obviously, there's a lot of struggle for us that comes into a picture. And so with this struggle, ultimately what you do is you let your heart guide from its connection to the cosmic intelligence. And then suddenly your head, with all the training that you had, with all of the logical and conditioning, it struggles to exist. And what does it mean? It means like it creates a lot of doubts for us. And you go through a period of doubting everything what you're doing as part of this unified course. Is it worth it to wake up early in the morning, practice? Are the quiet periods valid? What are the signals that we're getting are right? What about the communications or any of the wisdoms also that we receive? That is it everything that our imagination? So our mind tries to regain its control, and it tries to make its case, it argues, it injects its own thoughts very loudly and clearly. It tries to yell back, okay? But they are precisely the reason you aren't experiencing God's qualities all the time. It's not the heart's nature to argue back, so it will sit back, and the heart knows its divine nature. It knows its immortality, the connection to the cosmos. So nothing what the mind yells can begin to penetrate its heart shell. So the heart just remains peaceful, gentle, and all-knowing. But if the mind had its own way, you no doubt have started and stopped this course a long time ago, right? So what we're doing is this week, we're going to start witnessing our mind or witnessing the head, how Babaji says. So eventually, the head will discover its own true blessing. So then, whenever you ask for your mind's help, it gives with total accuracy its success, and its success is guaranteed. Okay, the heart becomes like the mind's best friend. So, in this course, it's been emphasized about your quiet period, right? So you now what you do is you tune on in the thoughts you know are coming from your higher self, and also understand just in your quiet period, whatever you're communicating with your higher self, being sitting in one place may not necessarily be the only way. Or in other words, that there are other ways for communication. So let's see as to what those other ways are. But we just have to re-emphasize, like right from the beginning, there are some safeguards and certain steps, like the 7 steps that we have been taught, not to miss them. Okay? Safeguards are extremely important. So we continue, no matter what type of communication we try to get, those safeguards are absolutely important. Sometimes what we have to do is, there are some practices, if we try to do every day, we forget the significance of that or the importance of that. And right from the beginning, we've been taught that safeguards is very, very critical. So let's continue to do that. And also always get your higher self signal. So this same practice before any type of other communication safeguards, get the higher signal, keep this higher signal always with you. Again, close your aura to all except your higher self, cleansing the aura of any uninvited influences. There are reasons, right, why these guidelines are there. Because no matter how much we think that we are attuned to God's qualities, there may be one simple argument within the family, of friends. We've had a bad day outside, and we tend to lower our frequency. We tend to connect to those uninvited influences, somebody else's aura. Yeah. And so we absolutely have to do our basic safeguards and then connect to the divine, be unified, and then start with the communicating with the process. But at the same time, there's also one thing before you go into a new mode of communication. Again, ask with your higher self in the regular way. Again, how we do is connect with the higher self to ask the question if it is in your highest and wisest interest to communicate in that other way. Ask that. This will be like the regular way how in the quiet period you're asking. And then ask, see if you get the signal yes or no. And if please, if you receive a signal as no, do not continue with that. There's a reason why you're asking for a yes or no question, and only for you to ignore that answer. So please make sure you take that advice from your higher self. So some of the examples Babaji has shared, like how you can use is the OEG board, the tarot cards, ruins, or the pendulum. They're very easy to use, but make sure that you can also use the playing cards in which you just know that all of the communications are predetermined, saying that yes, exactly. Like if it's a king, this is the message, and don't try to manipulate it, because then it's going to be a different result that you get. And there's a very interesting exercise Babaji has shared that we can use in case someone, of course, for this particular exercise, you need two people. And if there's anyone in your family or friends who have gone through this unified course, or you know that they are always unified, you can experiment with this. So this is just like an added bonus that most of us would not have expected as part of this course. So Babaji says that take a very light table, maybe the kids' a table, play table that you have. It's extremely light, and with your partner, whoever it is, your friend or a relative, sit opposite to each other, facing each other, and make sure that your partner also closes the aura of any uninvited influences, and make sure you state, both of you state your high spiritual purpose and unify with God. Sorry. Then ask your higher self for one of them to communicate by raising the table. Okay, you can connect to any one of the higher self and say, ask to raise the table. And what you will notice is that two of the legs will rise toward one of them. When both are unified, perfectly unified with God and each other. Okay, and then you can have additional communication, such as like 3 taps of the table means yes. So the table would have risen on one side, and you ask a question, and then if it taps, right, or taps on the floor 3 times, you say that is yes, and if it is just one, it is a no. Okay. So when you say yes, it also means that what you say aloud as an answer is correct communication from your higher self. And both of you can communicate with the same higher self. So since at this stage, after all, we're all one, right? So far we have differentiated between a higher self. It's just as Babaji said in the initial chapter, the only reason we are talking about a higher self as separate and us as a personality as separate is just to distinguish that path for us to learn, for us to understand when we are unified or when we are using our free will and using our mind to make our own decisions. So, but now we know, so this is that stage where even though there are 2 people, you are experiencing that unified behavior, and then you slowly know that everything is one. So when the table first rises, ask the table, is the table clear of any uninvited influences? Okay. So far, we have only asked for ourselves, we have asked for our loved ones, and now we are asking to a table. It may seem very silly. Why are we asking a table? But at this time, we know that everything is made from love and everything has God qualities. So if we as individual, we can have uninvited influences, the table or any object within around us can also have uninvited influences. So heal any influences until you get a yes answer to that question. Okay. So then ask the higher self to identify itself by tapping the letter of its name one at a time. So you can have this, you can ask those yes or no questions, and it can tap and give you its name. And throughout the communication, be on safeguard for any uninvited influences and heal them as needed. If you have a loved, so of course, when you are using a partner, make sure that that partner has indeed done all these courses or is aligned with you, aligned with the God qualities. So make sure you do that so that there is no doubts. Okay. And so this week, what exercise that we are going to do is to write it. So far, when as part of our communications, we were speaking it aloud. So this week it is about writing. So instead of speaking out the communication, just write down. So I hope you have a pen and a notepad. So if not, if you can just start just before the quiet period. And this communication won't be any flashy or anything. So it isn't automatic in the sense that you lose control of what the pen does. You are simply writing out the communication you have been asking out or thinking. Okay. So don't judge what you're writing. Just write, read it later for meaning. That this is the way many of the great manuscripts have been born. And it is also the way many great scientists throughout have come. And so even the book that I'm writing also has come through the same form, where I just unified with Adi Parashakti, and she is the one who gave mudras for me. So hopefully in a couple of months you'll be able to get that. So, and what you may see as part of this process is that these information or wisdom or this communication that comes through, you would not have ever thought, or there could never be your ideas. So and most of them you may not even understand what you are writing. So this particular information is extremely important, not to judge what you're writing, because it is beyond what your mind can comprehend or what you have seen around you. Because if you would have already seen that around you or you have learned in school, then that's already a trained information. But this one is coming beyond that. It's coming from that state of being unified with the God qualities. So just allow yourself to write. And if you feel that your mind can play tricks on you, don't read up to a week or up to a month or even up to later. And then you can come back and visit. And sometimes what can happen is this information can come in bits and pieces. So it may seem completely out of this world, and it may also make you stop doing them. So if you feel that, just let it be, let that document be there. And maybe after, even if you think 1 month, maybe too short of a period, just let it be there. Come after maybe 6 months and then visit. And then maybe there are more pieces of the puzzles for which the information has come together, and then all of them make sense. So with this, we will go into meditation. So those who may not have had the chance to get the notepad and a pen, please take this opportunity to go and get it. We'll play music, so if it is too loud, let me know. Close your eyes. Relax your bodies. Come to that space. Chest. To go within. And finish all the cells of your body. Every corner, every cell, every touch, every breath, every sound. Allow yourself completely immerse in them. Unified with God's quality. God is love. Light. Light. Is peaceful. Every word, every God is perfect. I'm perfect too. Peace and gentleness. God is abundance. Abundance. That's good. Let us keep any unlimited. To all unlimited. All is in love, light. We are each whole. We are each created as love and light. And you are still that and light. You each feel no pain now. And you're not afraid. Check these there now. You and all the thought. Keep everything. cells in. Continue. Right there. Next 5 to 10 minutes. Leave your doubts aside completely. I need to analyze. Gently wiggle your toes, fingers. Open your eyes now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Well, I hope my voice was, I see the note that voice was not clear. Apologize for that. Anyone have any question? You want to share your experience? Right, if there's none, we'll meet you tomorrow. Again, continue to practice 22nd week. About opening channels for truth. So with this, have a lovely Sunday, everyone. Bye-bye. We'll end the session.